My name is Algimantas. I live in Lithuania. It's a small country at the Baltic Sea in Eastern Europe. I represent Creator on this planet as his ambassador and apostle of Jesus. His spiritual rank is Master Creator Son, and his partner, Creator Daughter Nebudonia. I set up the living religion and temple named after Creator, the Paradise Trinity I Am. I've just finished the worship service in my native language, Lithuanian, and I presented my spiritual teaching in Lithuanian. I usually present my spiritual teachings in Lithuanian during the worship service, while in English, somewhere either in the nature or outdoors, somewhere in the city, or indoors like it's the case now. Quite often I show you this revelation book called the Rancher book. This is a huge text of 2,097 pages. Revelations, 196 documents, papers, have been presented by different spiritual beings and much higher than humans. Actually, that's why they are called revelations. It's a higher truth from higher authority. But what is necessary to note that all this is given for our assistance, that we would get enlightened spiritually, that we would really understand who is Creator and who is my personality, who I am. This material body, a human being. No, this is what is inside this human material body. This is a spirit, and it's a gift by Creator. Creator is the source and center of eternity. Therefore, his gifts are all eternal, and our personality is eternal, provided it is doing Creator's will. So that's why first you have to get a certain understanding. Who is Creator? Who are you, each of you? And for this you need a spiritual teacher. That's why I start teaching future spiritual teachers. I receive revelations directly from Creator, from Jesus. Therefore, I share these teachings with my brethren. I publish books of revelations like this one, and some other books. They are all in Lithuanian. Now I'm completing one more volume of the revelations received from Creator. Now I want to attract your attention to this revelation, the Rancher book. It devotes nearly 800 pages to the life and teachings of Jesus when he was in human form on our planet 2,000 years ago. the Revelation book describes every year since his birth up to he left the planet. And even once he resurrected, still on this planet, he appeared to different groups of people and to individuals 19 times before leaving the planet. So I want to, in a way, relate you one episode when he was 17 years old, a teenager. At that time, there was a strong movement of Jews within the Roman Empire not to pay taxes to the pagans. And there was a certain political movement brewing up, a revolt not to pay taxes to pagans, to the Roman Empire. So that's why those activists of the movement were widely working in Judea and trying to attract supporters from different walks of life of Jews. And they achieved very tangible results. When they arrived in Galilee, and especially when they came to Nazareth, there was a problem, and that problem was Jesus. When the leaders of this group met with Jesus, they did invite Jesus to join this movement. Jesus asked them many questions, but ultimately he said no without reasoning this response. Even though there were, questions as to why he did not want to join the movement. He could not disclose his real mission. That's why he couldn't join any political party existing in that part of the world. So in this case, this movement sometime later turned into a political party of zealots. And one uncle of Jesus, brother of his mother, Mary, Simon, was also a member of this movement. And even Jesus' younger brother, James, also supported the movement. And his mother was also advocating for the movement and pleading Jesus to join this movement. But Jesus looked at her and tenderly put his hand on her shoulder and said, "Mother, how could you?" And unfinished his thought, Mary looked up into the eyes of Jesus and realized that her request was not a proper one. But the group that has come to Nazareth was trying to, in a way, recruit other members of the movement in the city, especially among the youth. And youth was, in a way, seeking Jesus to become their leader, and they respected Jesus. But Jesus did not join this group. And he explained his refusal by saying he has to earn bread for a large family after an accident on the construction site. Joseph, Jesus' father, was killed. At that time, Jesus was only 14. So for 3 years, he has been playing the role of the father and senior brother in the family. In the family where there were other 4 younger brothers and 4 younger sisters, and Mary as his mother. At that time, Jews were respecting the family as a phenomenon among Jews. And they understood what Jesus was meaning. But in a way, there was a rich Jew, Isaac, a moneylender to the pagans, who said in public, I will support the family. Just join the movement. There will be no shortage of money for the family. But Jesus didn't respond at once. He said he will give the answer later. And he met his old teacher in the synagogue school, Hazan. And after the conversation with him, he gave his response. He said that he pledged to his father. He pledged to his father that he would bring up the family, that he would care for them and would try to earn to meet all the needs of the family. And to what Isaac proposed to support the family, he said, but the family needs not only money, they need the love and tenderness that he can provide to the little ones and the younger and the elder ones. And then he said, money cannot buy love. So that's a very important thing that is also necessary to keep in mind even nowadays. Money cannot buy love, even in a rich family. And this split of opinion on the movement of Jews against the pagan rule and against the taxes that were imposed on Jews by the pagans. So this sort of idea split the Jews. And since that time, Jesus realized that it was impossible to bring the 2 camps together. And that was one of many other reasons he decided to leave Nazareth and go to Capernaum, where he spent a lot of his time. So in a conflicting situation, Jesus tried to find a certain way out by giving a compromising response, trying to find some arguments and proof. That's why he respected the attitude of Jews to the family. And he said that the family is very important. But that was not enough for those, well, stubborn, politically minded delegates from Jerusalem. They needed to recruit a lot of young people for the movement to revolt against the pagan rule, against say, this very tough taxation of Jews by pagans. Nowadays, we need compromise in very many spheres because people are conflicting. I watched the episode when Ukrainian President Zelensky was received at the White House by the American president, by Donald Trump. And I saw the press conference, or whatever it might be called, in the White House. And I saw how President Trump was trying to explain his desire to stop this bloody war between Russia and Ukraine. Thousands upon thousands of people, of lives, are being killed all the time. So the most important thing is just to stop this massacre. Well, Zelensky, it's ridiculous to speak this way, but he was like a little child, like an immature child. He was repeating the same, guarantees, guarantees, first for security. And Donald Trump was trying just to explain, first we have to sign the deal, because this is very important. As this conflict might go on and on, you should understand that families of those who are being killed, who fall victim to wrong policy, they experience terrible loss within their heart. Just imagine here their condition and the state of mind. And all this should be stopped. I want to be a peacemaking president. And guarantees and security will come afterwards. And that's right. First, the priority to stop this massacre, so that young people would not be killed, that lives should be saved. Because if humans cannot experience their full experience on this planet, their destiny is changed. And destiny is bestowed by Creator to this planet, to reach Creator and stand in His immediate presence, in His dwelling abode, Paradise. But if this experience is not complete on this initial world, because of different accidents, if you die young, this destiny is being changed into a different one. neither Donald Trump nor Ukrainian President Zelensky knows all these things. But when I saw both of them, I saw how different in-depth is within the two persons. Donald Trump is like a sober-minded person, having an analytical understanding of the situation, and he kept repeating several times that might lead to the Third World War. And had he been the president when his election was stolen by the Democratic Party, by the satanic forces, stolen, and Biden was put in the White House. So the conflict had not erupted at all. So he wants to be the peacemaking president. So there should be made compromises. And I admire Vice President Vance when he was trying to attract Zelensky's mind. First, diplomacy should be a priority. Diplomacy, talking. And there was the question by a poll, well, a strange question to President Donald Trump. Whom you favor, the Ukraine or Russia? And the response was wonderful. I favor not Russia or Ukraine. I favor America, the United States. And this is exceptional duty of every president of every country, just to look the well-being of his country, but without any negligence, even of the smallest country, without showing any superiority to other countries. But the need of every president is to be a servant of the country that he is the president of. It's a must. Creation has multitude of different segments, and every leader of every segment is responsible for the well-being of that segment. Of that segment, not of another segment. And through the living relationship with Creator, they also favor the well-being of the whole of creation. So that's why I represent Creator as his ambassador and apostle of Jesus in Macedonia on and to this planet, to enlighten all humanity. And President of the United States, Donald Trump, and Ukrainian President Zelensky, and Russian President Putin, and all other presidents of the world, to enlighten spiritually that Creator Spirit, thought adjuster, is indwelling the mind of each of them, and they are leading each of them towards peace, towards brotherhood, towards harmony within, first within oneself, and then within the society, within the community, and finally on the planet, within humanity. And that is possible only through negotiating different subjects and cooperating, cooperating for the welfare of all, for the well-being of all. Otherwise, it's annihilation. There will be no third world war, because providence is the force that is beyond our understanding and reaching. But these are higher spiritual beings who created this book using their mind and energy manipulation. And they can stop high-tempered heads that no third world war would erupt. But conflicting situations must be regulated through negotiations. How can you achieve peace without talking? It's impossible. So that's what President of the United States and Vice President of the United States were trying to point out to the Ukrainian president. Unfortunately, that was not understood by the Ukrainian president, and he left the White House. The deal has not been reached. But it's an experience how, say, hot-tempered people, impatient people, and quickly judging others can make harm, and quite a lot of harm caused to others when they lead the country. They have impact on lives of millions, and in a way, even on the whole of humanity. So that's why the urgency is for spiritual enlightenment of all politicians, of all political leaders, of all presidents. And that's why I present my spiritual teachings in English, in hope of being heard at least by some of them. But I do know that even if this teaching is not heard by any president, the vibrations, high frequency vibrations that I emit even while speaking out this teaching, they spread around, and they also make a certain impact to pacify the minds of those who are hot-tempered and quick to judge others. Brotherhood is possible, and it shall be on the stage once spiritual teacher reaches the heart of those who listen or hear the spiritual teaching. To discover Creator within, to discover, and it means discover in reality, like an object you are looking for, all of a sudden you discover it's somewhere under a table, and you pick it up and use it. So Creator should be discovered within, and then another stage of life in a different quality begins. You begin to feel that Creator has been really discovered within, and He is strengthening you from within and giving you directly advice, because our mind is indwelled by Creator Spirit, thought adjuster. And that's why we are all brethren, not only on this planet, but with all living beings, and even with those higher spirits. We are also brethren to them, and they are brethren to us. Think what I've just told you, because I have told you, namely for you in particular.